Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. There are moments that seem to belong to all of us, moments of pure, collective human experience. The redemption of a fallen king at the 2019 Masters was one of them, a story of pain, perseverance, and triumph that felt like a myth unfolding in real time. But running parallel to this public spectacle was a private transaction, a ghost story written on a slip of thermal paper in a Las Vegas sports book. It was presented as a miracle of faith, an impossible wager that paid off. This case file will investigate the alternative, more haunting possibility that the miracle was a fabrication and the faith was the target. To go down the rabbit hole, we must deconstruct the protagonist. The world was introduced to James Adducci, a 39-year-old from Wisconsin. The story was irresistible, a husband and father facing financial ruin, who told his wife he had a feeling from the universe. He liquidated his assets, he claimed. Here lies the anomaly that unmasks the entire operation. In 2018, the Supreme Court struck down the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, unleashing a torrent of legalized sports betting. An industry once relegated to the shadows was now thrust into the mainstream, and it faced a massive crisis of image. It needed to rebrand itself from a predatory vice into a form of entertainment, even a form of aspirational belief. The Adducci wager was not a dangerous liability. It was a calculated investment in a foundational myth. For the cost of a rounding error on their balance sheet, William Hill purchased a global headline that screamed, "Betting isn't just about odds, it's about faith. It's about dreams." They wrote the playbook, a masterclass in psychological marketing that would become the gospel for the entire industry. From this higher vantage point, the true haunting begins. The Adducci story was merely the blueprint. The perfection of the model is happening now. In the digital coliseums of apps like Hard Rock Bet, these are not simple sports books. They're sophisticated data harvesting engines. They track your viewing habits, your social media likes, your past bets, to learn what stories you are most likely to believe in. They don't wait for a believer to walk through the door. They manufacture them with personalized promotions and algorithmically generated narratives. The legacy of the Immaculate Wager is an industry that no longer sells odds, but sells hope as a commodity. The most chilling realization is that the system has learned. It has evolved. The house no longer needs a single public miracle. It can now create 1,000,000 private ones, every single day, inside the quiet solitude of your screen. You are not just a customer. You are the data point in their ongoing simulation of faith. But a deeper question haunts this case. A question that lingers long after the trail goes cold. We have been searching for a man. Perhaps we should have been watching the architecture. We are conditioned to look for the heist, the break-in, the tangible crime that violates the system. But what if the crime is the system? A new form of power that doesn't break the rules, but writes them in a language we cannot read, on a server we cannot see, under a jurisdiction that is not a place but a concept. Sovereignty, once a line on a map, is now a line of code. Immunity, once a shield for a nation, is now a firewall for a ledger. An unexpected payout of $1.2 million is not a simple jackpot. It is an accounting correction in a closed loop, an engineered event masquerading as impossible luck. In this new world, the house doesn't need to cheat. It just needs to own the definition of winning. The true anomaly isn't the win itself. It's that it left a trace we could see at all. For every James Adducci we glimpse, a ghost in the machine who flickered for a moment in the light. How many others are simply transactions? Data points rerouted in the silent digital dark, their existence never registered, their fortunes absorbed without a ripple. This erodes more than just trust in a game. It erodes the very concept of a shared reality. It suggests that the fundamental laws of cause and effect can be decoupled on command. It posites a world where truth is no longer a thing to be discovered, but a thing to be permitted, where reality is not what happens, but what is allowed to be logged. The trail for one man has vanished, but it has illuminated the precipice on which we stand. It has led us to the edge of a new world, built in shadows and governed by its ghosts. We've followed the money. We've traced the ghost. Now we expose the architect. Next Monday, the AI God program. Quantum models that don't predict games. They sculpt them. Referee manipulation through subliminal cues. Neural exploitation via brainwave hacking. Because the ultimate discovery isn't that AI can predict reality. It's that the house is no longer just predicting reality.